have a little bit of room. You're not choking the blade's not impacting your hand, and you're not so high up that you've lost control. If you've ever tried to paddle with your hand up this high, it really doesn't work. So you want to have a little bit of space here. Your top hand square over the tee. We want to make sure our hands are not angled like this, and that the wrist doesn't have a negative angle where it's forcing us to pull down as well. We will always want to think of being in a position of power, so top hand over the tee, nice and square, and the wrist has a slight positive angle as well. Okay?
Thumb.
Thumb can be under, it to the side or under, either one. Usually under. Just so that your hand is positioned in a way that you're not forced to pull it down. Some people, when they press down, open up their fingers. It's a good practice technique. I don't recommend it on an ongoing basis, but it does help you make sure that you're not pulling down. It really does reinforce that pressing down. So you can try that as well. Bottom hand shouldn't grip the paddle too hard. We talk about death grip in dragon boating. You want to make sure you don't. Here's why. A, it puts a lot of strain on your forearm and your bicep. And it causes tension. Tension radiates. It goes from the arm to the shoulders to the rest of your body. You don't want to be paddling tight. But also it changes the angle of the paddle. If I'm in my setup position, I've got a nice loose grip, my angle is positive. The minute I grip the paddle harder, it's negative already. I don't want to do that. So you want to make sure you have a nice loose grip. This hand is really just guiding the paddle, but it's also pulling it down as you press down with the top arm. So you don't want to have too tight a grip. Make sense? Did you see that? Okay. So basic paddle position. Now we're going to set up. Our knees are facing forward, our heads are facing forward, our shoulders are facing forward, everything's square and neutral and relaxed. Shoulders are down. We raise our paddle up. We're about an inch from the side of the boat. We're not like this. We're not like this. We're not like this. You don't know how many people I've been like, excuse me, stop the boat. Put your hand on top. Okay, so now we're getting ready to go into the catch. If we just drop our arms, paddle is negative right away. I'm coming down, I'm about halfway in the water, now I'm fully in the water. I'm useless. I can just move with the rest of the team. I look good, but I'm not moving the boat. We don't really look good. So think of reducing the space between your armpit and the gunnel. And to do that, you have to lower your body. But you can't do it without rotating first, okay? So if I'm going to try and drop my body without rotating my hips, the only thing I can do is twist to the side, and that's not good. That's straining my back. I'm going to have a backache and worse. So you have to lead with that hip. So as you're going forward, as you're pushing the hip forward, you're reaching forward, you're extending, and you're also dropping this shoulder down. See the difference? Arms drop, my body, my torso, my hips don't move, my hip moves, and I can go down and maintain that paddle angle. I'm not pulling it in. That's another danger that a lot of new paddlers do, is I'm up, I'm going to maintain my paddle angle, I'm going to go like this. You've got no power. You can't get over the paddle that way. So everything is locked. You've got one tight movement. This angle doesn't change. Your core is tight. Lower into the water, and now, hopefully, we're buried. Our pinkies can be wet. That's a good gauge. Now we're going to push the paddle back and rise up over it. So we press down. This starts going back first, so we're leading with the hip again. As this comes back to the starting position, everything is going to follow with it. Okay? So we're down, we've got a good catch. Now we can start pushing the water back when we're rising up over it. So core is tight, chest are coming up, and forward. So it's like we're sitting in a chair. You can do this at home or now. And you're sitting and you're trying to get.
Table up after then.
You just want to try and push yourself out of the chair. You can't do it if you're not engaged fully. So relax everything. Don't tighten your cores. Push down and try and stand up. It's not working, right? So now really tighten your cores and you're going to push yourself up and over the paddle. Always want to be pushing your body weight up and over the paddle.